Welcome back to another edition of Let's Football Live, or should we say, time to beat those Monday morning blues with Let's Football Live. Because today, the guy who's joining us is a very special guest, as always, but he's somebody who's given us a lot to be proud about, a lot to smile about, a lot to cheer about in the Blues of India and Bengaluru FC. He's the first ever goalkeeper in the history of the ISL to keep 10 or more clean sheets. He's the first ever goalkeeper in the history of the Hero Indian Super League to pick up 2 Golden Glove awards, and I can assure you he almost picked up a third and so nearly had it as well. He is an Arjuna awardee. He's the first Indian to play in the Europa League. He's also somebody who captained India to a win in the Asian Cup after 55 long years. And that game against Thailand is something that's still etched in our memories. But apart from that, he likes sketching, he likes drifting. He likes just being the funny guy, and he's an absolute superb companion to be with and to be around, as you'll just hear from him in a moment. And I'm talking about somebody who goes by the name of Burj Khalifa, the Great Wall of India, the big man, the big G, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu. So I'm going to try and get him on straight away. Yeah, Abhijit, you guessed it right. I'm not going to waste any time in introducing him any further.
टाइमिंग पंक्चुअलिटी कितनी जरूरी चीज है।
मुझे लगा आप भूल जाओगे।
आपको कैसे भूल सकता हूं मैं। और ऐसी बहुत सारी स्टोरीज है जो मुझे आज आपसे पूछनी है, because I still remember, in fact I was thinking whether I should wear the jersey that you gave me after winning the ISL in 2018-19.
Then it would have been too biased.
That's true, actually is, but I am biased towards you because of what you do for India. So when I talk about the Blues, I usually talk about the Blues that Gurpreet wears. Actually, you don't even wear blue. You wear orange and you wear green or something or the other, right?
There's the Blues and I'm the other guy.
Fantastic, Paji. Thank you so much for being a part of this. It took us a while to get you here, but eventually, हम दोनों एक ही फ्रेम में आ गए किसी तरीके से।
नहीं बिल्कुल, I'm very happy that the Wi-Fi is working, everything is working, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Thankfully, no problems on Mud Island, which is, I know what you're getting at right now.
Yeah, I know.
अब मेरा सबसे पहले मैं एक सवाल लूंगा सकलीन खान से, who's asked me something that I think everyone's been asking because of your Instagram feed. How are you spending time with Eric Partilu in training sessions? And Swaroop, this is a very important and very interesting question from Swaroop, which you need to address. Sir, do you have any girlfriend? And how and from where you get motivated every day for training and for the match day? तो दोनों के जवाब आप एक साथ दे दो मुझे।
ठीक है। To the first question, it's very easy to train with Eric Partilu right now because we are in the same country, same city, and he knows the way around over here. He knows which pitch is free, which is the one available with a goal. So yeah, we get together every week around 2 or 3 times. Now I think 4 times, and try to get those sessions in, and it's fun. इतना ज़्यादा hard work मैं वैसे इंडिया में भी नहीं करता था इतना ज़्यादा जितना मुझे एरिक करवाता है. And
I hope आप Eric को भी करवा रहे हो, because Eric needs to stop scoring as many headers and starts need to scoring.
I'm pretty sure he's going to score some curlers this season because he's trained on them very well. And to the second question, I think girlfriend hai, and yes, things are moving forward, and you know, hopefully we'll save this one for life.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Gurpreet is right now in Sydney, as you can see. So
actually, you know, on the other side.
On the other side, down under. What are you drinking, by the way? Is that coffee, tea?
Green tea.
See, so the fitness regime is...
See, this cup is the best cup that I've seen.
Well, I can't read it very well. What does it say?
It is a Caribbean cup. So it includes everything that is in the Caribbean.
Nice. And who got you this?
मैं घर पे पड़ा था ऐसे.
अच्छा, ऐसे उठा लिया. मेरे पास भी cup है. Even I'm carrying one, but it just says London Starbucks. That's all.
ये आपने पक्का लंदन से लिया होगा.
हाँ यार, काफी टाइम वहाँ पे मैंने spend किया. So eventually I had to get something back from there. Unfortunately, we couldn't stay on. Both of us are very similar stories in that sense. Could have, would have, should have stayed on, but unfortunately there were better options in India at that moment.
A lot of would have and buts, but you know, whatever happens for the good, and I'm glad.
But it started really well, Gurpreet, didn't it? I mean, right from your childhood days, and let's go back straight to that. जो अभी हो रहा है उसके बारे में आगे बात करेंगे. But you know, when I remember seeing in an interview that I think you were born in Chamkaur Sahib, and you grew up in Mohali, Chandigarh, whatever you want to call it. I think for me it's both the same. It's the same. But where did it all start? I think 1999 was the first time you ever kicked the ball. Just talk us through those early days a little bit.
See, those early days, I mentioned this again and again. I never watched football. I never watched football until 2006-07. And being in a house of a cricket-loving fan, my dad is a cricket-loving guy. He wanted to be a cricketer. That's the only sport we watched. I mean, till this.
But your granddad didn't want him to. Your granddad didn't want him to play cricket, right?
No, his parents told him that, "यार क्या sports तू पढ़ाई कर, BSc कर और नौकरी ले." And that's what he did. But his love for sports, his love for cricket is still there, and he watches the game every single time I go home. Every single time there's a game, he watches. And even I love cricket. So the love for sports started from there, and it's just that I found football. I never watched it, I never heard about it, and मेरे school में academy थी, and from there on, I think one of the coaches, our coaches are also PT teachers in school, right? And they see children who are good physically and athletic and stuff like that, and they call them to the academy if they like it. And that's how I started. I won a 100-meter race, which is very rare. You can't hear about it anywhere. That's the first race I won in my life. Not anymore, but that's how I got recruited in the academy, and started from there. 99, I think.
I'm going to ask this nice and early. If you were to run 100 meters right now forget Udanta, forget Ashik, with Sunil Chhetri, who's going to win?
बराबर तो मैं आ जाऊंगा. मेरे stride बहुत लंबी है. See, Chhetri bhai will have the edge in the start. He's good the push. Okay. But I have the legs. Okay. So I can leap forward. Might not beat him, but can come barabar.
I'm thinking of a scenario where, sometimes you lump it long straight towards Sunil and he makes the run, right? I'm wondering if Chhetri were to be in goal and he were to lump it forward, would you be more effective on the counter?
I would be more effective if I have to flick the ball on. Things that Chhetri bhai does with so much ease when I lump the ball forward is phenomenal, man. It's very difficult to control the ball and try to score from there, and he does it so many times. मैं तो डर जाऊंगा ऐसी बॉल देके. अरे वाह कसम.
Yeah, you're very humble, but listen, we don't want Sunil bhai playing anywhere else apart from where he does.
He has to play another 6-7 years आराम से.
Has he told you that 6-7 years, or is it just something that we keep guessing as the fans and
मेरा confidence है. मेरा confidence है उनके अंदर. He's getting younger day by day. Yeah, he's getting younger day by day. Trust me.
I think I managed to see him in the Inspire Institute of Sport on a video where he was working out with Sonam pushing him. So
it's 15 years old Chhetri.
I hope he listens to this. If he's not listening to it right now, I'm sure he's hard at training somewhere. But
he's in the gym.
But interesting. Okay, but you were never told to play striker or midfielder or defender despite your big size. It was always a goalkeeper, right? There was never anything else.
I think the first year it was just about learning how to kick a ball, how to juggle and stuff like that, learning how the basics are. Yeah. And from there on, I never had a choice. I mean, just because of my frame, they thought that I would be better in the goal. And trust me, I wasn't that good with the ball that they can be like, okay, this is a striker. This guy can score goals and stuff like that. So I was not gifted with the talent with the ball and stuff like that, which some players are. I think that's why that's one of the reasons was that I was in the goal.
But in these times when you have some and I've heard you say this before, जब off season आता है, like it is right now, or should we say off season going into pre-season, Is that something you work on, playing with the ball a little more, carrying it forward yourself? Because you said you work on a few aspects on the physical side and on your game as well.
See, this kind of scenario hasn't come before. Like the scenarios that have come before in off season, there's like you have a gym, आप gym जाओ, आप उस पे काम करो, आप you work on your physicality and stuff like that. That's what I did before. But this time
Yeah.
right now is so gifting to me that I can use a pitch right now. So I try to do those, passing drills with Eric Patalu, who's such a great passer himself. So yeah, I'm trying to work on that. I'm not the best at it, but yeah, I try to work on my left foot.
Come on, Eric, if you're listening to this, keep at it.
I have to work on my left foot because Roy Krishna, as you remember, took the advantage of it at one point in the game.
Oh, yes. We'll touch upon that. I want to talk about that second leg of the semi-final a little bit later on as well, because that's something that I'm sure stayed with BFC. BFC, don't forget these. नहीं बहुत सवाल भी बहुत सारे आए. That's the thing. So some people have actually specifically asked about Williams and the header and the second leg. So we'll go step by step. ये सुबह थोड़ी लंबी होने वाली है. Should we say? Okay, now this is still early days for you, and this is St. Stephen's, right? I think you spent 12 years at St. Stephen's or something like that.
Yeah, I started
a long time.
LKG was the first time when I went.
LKG.
Yeah, that's what they call LKG, KG first. And I spent 12 years there, and now you miss those days, right? After school, you're like, those days were gold, and I think in the third or fourth standard, I started being a part of the academy, and from there on, every single day, about twice a day, we used to train morning, evening, and just get better from there on.
I remember you telling me that उस समय मैं सिर्फ school nationals और ये सब खेलना चाहता था. I didn't really know I'm going to take it up professionally. But then your dad and you took a train to TFA and in Jamshedpur, and rest, as they say, is history. But just tell us a little bit about it. How did you get convinced that Jamshedpur is the place where I want to now take my footballing journey forward from?
As I said, I mean, when I was playing football in the early stages, when I was 13, 14, as I said, I didn't know much about the concept and the structure of Indian football back then. Ki, matlab nationals, leagues, professional teams, they are there. I didn't know. I was just fortunate enough to, get a call up from the under 16 national team and to get trained there. As I said, that's where I watched football. We were training in Goa, and that's where I watched Indian football, I-League games over there, the National League games in Fatorda. And that's where I was like, yaar, matlab logo ko paise milte hai khelne.
Ye bhi hota hai.
Ye bhi hota hai. So that's when I really felt that, man, this is the thing for me. I want to do this. I saw the Subrota Pauls, the Abhijit Mondals over there, and I was like, I want to be that. In 2008, after doing a lot of research, asking the fellow players who were in the national team under 16, most of them from TFA, and the Tata Football Academy back then was the platform for a player to get a club. All the big clubs, the East Bengal, the Mohun Bagans, they got their players basically from Tata Football Academy, And I thought, yaar, mujhe bhi jana chahiye, mere ko bhi club join karna hai. And in 2008, I think I told Dad, and Dad was like, yeah, chalo, no problem. And we went there. I think I was wearing my under 16 national team jersey and stuff like that. Being like, bhai, aa gaya idhar, trial dene. And we played a game. Then there was finishing training of all the players, around 50 players, 2-3 goalkeepers. I'm one of the keepers. There are 50 people taking shots at you. And I'm flying, I'm saving left, right, up, down. Jo bhi aa raha hai, sab se ho raha hai. Pata nahi kaise. And in the stands, I mean, on the side of Tata Football Academy's pitch, there were chairs and the people were sitting. And one of them was an East Bengal scout.
Scout.
Yeah. And after training, he came to my dad and he's like, "Sir, आपका लड़का ईस्ट बंगाल के लिए खेलेगा." ना मुझे पता
हीरा
है
है.
कि हाँ कि सर ये खेलेगा जरूर. This is me telling you.
Okay.
And we were not serious. We like हाँ ठीक है कोई नहीं, thank you करके we left. We took the train back home. And I remember I went back to camp in 2008, and Colin Toll was the coach back then
Right.
of the team, and he pulled me aside on the first day, and he's like, "Why do you need to give trials to TFA?" I was like, I thought it's the platform where players go and stuff like that. He said, "Players from TFA are coming to join the national team. Why do you need to go to the TFA and do the same thing again?" I was like, "Yeah, point to theek hai aapka." So I didn't join TFA after that, and was fortunate enough to get a couple of offers by the end of 2009, and chose East Bengal.
So finally, your dad was like, "Chalo, kuch na hoga to tajurba hoga," and he'll at least get a job through sports quota now. Even if this doesn't work out, that's what he said.
That's what my parents said, and they had secret conversations with my childhood coaches as well when I was training. कि सर लड़के का बनेगा क्या? And they were like, give him time and stuff like that. Nationals खेल ली हैं, तो of course certificate सारे ready हैं. सर्टिफिकेट भी ले लिया कि स्पोर्ट्स कोटे में जी कॉलेज भी मिल जाएगा, क्या पता नौकरी भी लग जाएगी, संतोष ट्रॉफी खेलेगा ये वो. That was the maximum that we thought about back then.
It's funny, right? Your dad had the ambition of being a cricketer, playing professionally, and eventually you become a sportsman in the family, and you kind of take that dream forward for him. It's fascinating how these things work out. But फिर आप पहुंचे East Bengal 2009 में, I think it all started for you. And I remember you mentioning that your first game was against a team from Howrah, and you kept a clean sheet in that game.
Yeah.
And you were obviously really happy. East Bengal itna bada club hai. I keep a clean sheet in my very first game, and then you get to start in the next game, which happens to be, I think, a Kolkata derby.
Yeah.
1,00,000 लोग गुरप्रीत सॉल्ट लेक स्टेडियम में बैठे हैं और आम की गुठली आपकी तरफ आती है, उसकी क्या स्टोरी है मुझे बताओ.
So yeah, I mean, we are there, right? I get to play the game. The first keeper apparently was Abramondal. I think he was sick or something happened during the Howrah game, and I was called in. And we got a clean sheet. I saved a penalty, and the next game is against Mohun Bagan, right? And that time we used to get to know the team in the dressing room. And the dressing room is filled with Mehrajuddin Wadu, Renedy Singh, Baichung Bhutia, all these legendary players are there. And I'm sitting in one corner, and Philip the Ryder comes and he says that you're going to start. You saved us in the last game, and I think you deserve this chance. So just go out there and play. And that's when I went in front of 1 lakh people, and I was like, "Bhai, ye ho kya raha hai?" Matlab, my ears are buzzing. I can't hear my teammates, and that experience was so different that it taught me how to play football in an environment like that. And I think second half chal raha hai, and Mohun Bagan fans are behind me, and we are playing, and I'm about to take a goal kick, right? The ball is ready, goal kick lene wala hu, और आम की गुठली आती है ऐसे फ्लाई करके 6-yard box में. And I look behind, I like, लोगों ने पत्थर जरूर फेंके, ये आम की गुठली कौन फेंकता है? So that was.
You like mangoes in general?
Everyone loves mango. I'm a mango people.
Yeah, that is one of the strangest things I've ever heard. आम की गुठली, वो भी सॉल्ट लेक में इतना काफी दूर से, मतलब it's quite far away.
अभी तो आपने BFC की स्टोरी नहीं सुनी, ये किसी को पता नहीं है वैसे.
आप सुना दो, Bengaluru is online as well. Why don't you give us the story right away?
East Bengal versus Bengaluru FC. For the first time when Bengaluru FC came into the I-League, right? And we are playing at the BFS Stadium.
Yeah. Back in the day, yes.
Yeah, I'm playing, and पीछे BFC के fans है. Or it's not the West Block Blues, but it's the normal fans back then. All the auto drivers, taxi drivers, all सब लोग आते हैं और किसी के हाथ में समोसा है, किसी के हाथ में पेप्सी है, तो एक बंदे ने समोसा फेंका।
लगा गया?
मुझे लगा नहीं, बट आई डोंट नो दिस फैसिनेशन टुवर्ड्स थ्रोइंग फूड एट अ गोलकीपर कि उठा के खा थोड़ी लेंगे।
Did you keep a clean sheet in that game, or did BFC win?
No, we won.
Yeah?
We won. Yeah.
Awesome. So even a samosa couldn't get into goal. That's brilliant, isn't it?
A samosa came from the goal.
Acha, from the goal, from piche. Oh yeah, great memories of seeing games at BFS as well. Anyway, so and then okay, so East Bengal happens, Kolkata derby. You actually chose East Bengal because of Atanuda, wasn't it? Because he was the goalkeeping coach. You had offers from I think Churchill and Salgaonkar as well that time, but you chose East Bengal because
Just
you knew
because
that you
of
want
the
to take your game to the next level. Yeah, you had a goalkeeping coach.
Yeah, I mean, in the youth stages, I had Tanmay Basu as a goalkeeper coach, and great goalkeeper coach. I mean, he could hit the ball, and that was the first time I had a proper, dedicated goalkeeper coach who's fixing this tall body into a goalkeeper. And yeah, I told him that these are the options that I have, and he obviously recommended that you should go to a place where you are certain that you will get proper training. And back then, I think Churchill and Salgaonkar didn't have that option. Maybe Salgaonkar did, but Churchill didn't. And when I heard legendary keepers like Atunoda are there training, so I like pretty simple decision. Yeah, I want to be there. At least if I won't play, I'll get better. And that's the simple choice I made. Didn't think about money. Didn't think about game time.
Right, yeah, because he's somebody who's played with the national team. I remember he was a part of the Asian Cup team with Shabir Ali and Derek Pereira in '84, I think it was. So,
He was also the best keeper in Asia or something.
He was chosen in the Asian All Stars or the Asian overall team, right? I think yeah. Novi Kapadia can correct me on this. I'm sure he'd remember.
Novi said
मैं तो बच्चा था यार. Okay, so when you get a call up for the national team to go to, I think, the Asian Games where Kati Mani was the first choice goalkeeper. This is in China. Aap SAF Cup खेला आपने, then you went to Asian Games 2010. And then Bob Houghton's team suddenly gives you a call to join a training camp in Dubai. And that's your first sort of brush with the national team. So how's this worked out for you? So East Bengal, Asian Games in China, Dubai, training camp.
That time I wish I had frequent flyer miles. I wish.
Yeah. Or you wish you knew Sunil Chetri who could guide you to do that.
Yeah. I wish. So yeah, that was a crazy journey. I mean, 2010, I'm playing SAF games with the under-19 team in Bangladesh. And you come back to India, you hear about, okay, चलो भाई तेरा नाम अभी एशियन गेम्स के स्क्वाड में भी आ गया, ठीक है? तो मतलब ऐसे होता था कि न्यूज आ गई है कि आपका नाम ये कैंप में है. So you join one camp from the another camp, right? Under 23 team is going to play the Asian Games. I'm the third keeper.
Yeah.
And we go to China, and Katimani Bhai plays the first game. I think he gets injured in the neck. Then I have to play the next two games. We played Kuwait and I think Malaysia. And yeah, we were okay. I mean, I think we won against Malaysia and we lost against Kuwait on a small deficit, 1 or 2-0. And the Asian Games got wrapped up for us very, very fast. And on the way back at the airport, I am told that कि भाई अभी तेरे को इंडिया से दुबई जाना, मतलब चाइना टू इंडिया, इंडिया टू दुबई. एंड लाइक दुबई क्यों? इज लाइक भाई तेरा नाम आया है for the camp. I think one of the keepers in the national team got injured. I think Arindam Bhai or Subhashish Bhai. I think Arindam Bhai was the one who got injured. Yeah. And Bob sir called me. And I was like, over the moon. I was like, these are the people I've seen training and want to be next to. And I'm getting this opportunity to be with them. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I knew like Ranidi Bhai, Baichung Bhai, Merajuddin Wadu already from East Bengal
East
days.
Bengal.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't very difficult for me to gel into the squad. Being the youngest one, I mean, I didn't feel like I was the youngest one. I was still being, fooling around and keeping my head down though at sometimes. Just
Yeah, but you didn't
enjoying
get
the.
phased at all.
No,
Yeah.
no, I was just enjoying myself in training every single day, trying to follow what
Yeah.
Subrata Bhai is doing, trying to follow what Subhashish Bhai is doing. I was at point roommates with Subrata Bhai, even with Chetri Bhai. And Subrata
Yeah.
Bhai has such a great routine. In the mornings, he likes to do some of his stretchings and co-workout and stuff like that. And I got to do all those exercises as well for a long time.
Yeah, he still looks so fit. I was speaking to him the other day, and it just
Great.
doesn't change, doesn't age at all.
No, no, no.
That's
That
yeah.
guy can work. That guy can work.
Which reminds me of the match that Bengaluru played against Jamshedpur. I remember BFC, came up with their. I think it was the afterthought, as they call it, after the game got
Yeah.
over, and it was about denied by the doorman. Subrata Paul and you both had a fantastic game, and I think he got the hero of the match, but it could have been either
Yeah.
of you because both of you were there. So is that somebody you look up to for inspiration in your early days in particular?
Of course, I mean he was the best in the country, and when you look at him flying left, right, he's such a brave keeper as well. 1 versus 1 was his best qualities, and being a young keeper, you want to be that. You want to be at that position. You want to feel wearing the jersey, going into the pitch. And
Yeah.
from day one, when I joined the national team, I wanted that. I wanted to replace him. I wanted to like be that guy, be in that position. And yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he has a big role in fueling my fire to be the guy wearing the jersey and going into the pitch.
And somebody who'd gone abroad as well. So that's something that I wanted to touch upon as Harmanjot Kabra and Eric Partlu have also joined. So hello to you guys if you're
Hello,
watching
my
this.
dear friends. Lots of love.
देखो कितना वक्त है लोगों के पास आपके लिए Monday morning, and you made us do this on a Monday morning. Usually it's at 5 p.m.
देखो,
India time.
Yeah, but you need to understand it's 4 o'clock almost in Australia.
I
एक
agree.
minute. I need to ask Eric something. Eric, are we training tomorrow or no? Please respond if you're watching. And we'll continue our conversation.
Kabra Paji is saying Dada Kidda, which let me just tell him that you're absolutely fine and that you're in Sydney. How does he not know? I'm pretty
He
sure
knows
he knows,
everything, yaar. He's legend. He knows everything.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about the dressing room at BFC as well, where Kabra Paji plays a very important role sometimes with his massive Marshall speaker that he carries into. Yeah, I've seen that. Okay, so this happens, Gurpreet, and then now you're a part of the national team squad, but your first call up, should we say, your first chance in the starting 11 comes against Turkmenistan in 2011.
That's a very Wikipedia thing. I mean, Google is incorrect at this time.
So what is your first game that you played for the senior national team?
Iran at home.
So 2015.
Yep.
That's the World Cup qualifiers for Russia 2018. Okay, right. I thought it was 20. So you never played that game against Turkmenistan, is it in 2011?
Subhashish Bhai played, I think.
Subish. Okay. I
It's
stand
a
corrected
glitch.
there, and
I know
I make
it's
sure
a
I correct
glitch.
it.
Everyone asks me this question, but I think it's a Google glitch. No one's fault.
No, fair enough. Okay, we should correct that because a lot of people I think go with 2011 because
मुझे क्या है?
the next
मेरी तो एक appearance बढ़ जाएगी मेरे को क्या है?
4 साल बढ़ गए और क्या?
नहीं.
No, because I wanted to ask you something else. I was going to ask you if you played your first game in 2011. Let's say you were part of the Asian Cup squad in 2011, but your first chance comes in 2015. What was the time? And there was a question from Alexandru Donea who says, what were some of your toughest moments outside the pitch when you were part of some of these youth teams and these teams because you weren't getting to start games for India that time?
Oh, I mean, it was very frustrating for me. be it on the pitch and off the pitch, because
Yeah.
as I said, the moment I joined the national team, I wanted to be, the one who's playing for the nation, right? Because I can see what a person goes through and what kind of feeling he gets. Uh,
Yeah.
and like that hunger was there. I wouldn't say frustration and tough times, but that hunger was there to be that guy. And I think the moment after I came back, not after, but when I joined Stabaek in Norway, I
Yeah.
felt like that uh, I should get a chance. Like before that, I didn't feel like it that much. I was just working towards it. But when I
Yeah.
joined Stabeck in Norway, I felt like, this is the time I wanted, like I was a dog on a leash, trying to trying to get out and play. And yeah, in 2015 it came. I had to wait around, 5 years for my chance to play for the national team. And the moment I got the chance, I felt like, this is the place that I want to be at. And
Yeah.
this is the place where I feel, at peace, and I enjoy it a lot. And I want to stay here as long as possible and try to, play the best football of my career for the national team as long as I can.
A dog on a leash example is amazing. It almost gives me a visual of you wanting to achieve so much so quickly, but it's almost like you're being stopped. Like you were stopped
Yeah,
when you got a chance to train with
yeah.
Wigan in 20, I think it was 2013 or
2012,
2012 that you got a
2012.
2012 when Roberto Martinez was
Yeah.
the coach over there, and Ali Al Habsi was keeping for Wigan in that season. That training stint, Gurpreet, what was it like? What was that? Was that the game changer for you that yaar ab bahar hi khelunga? I'm not going to come back or
Yeah, I mean, in 2010, 2011, we had Chetri Bhai playing in Kansas, and he came back. You've always heard
yeah,
about Baichung Bhutia playing in Bury. In 2011, especially, John Burridge came to one of the East Bengal sessions. He was a 10 sports analyst back then, and
yeah,
they were running the show, and they were covering the Derby game. So they came and watched one of the training sessions, and I think he was watching me keep, and he's like Joe Morrison is right next to him, and I can hear him say this, Joe, look at this kid, he's amazing, and this and that. And he's saying all these things, and I'm wondering who this guy is, and who allowed him here and stuff like that. But
yeah,
after the session ended, everyone left. It's only me and Burridge on the pitch, and
yeah,
he's telling me, he's like, son, you're wasting your time here. I believe that you can play outside this country, and you should believe that too. And
yeah,
if you need help, I can help you, but I want you to go outside and play, because I clearly think that you're wasting your time here. And that's the first time I seriously thought that, this is something that I want to do. Like, if someone who has played in the Premier League comes down here and thinks that, I'm capable of doing so, so why can't I?
yeah,
So that's when I started to think, and because of his help, because of his connection to Ali Al Habsi, because he was
yeah,
training Ali Al Habsi from the age of 15 until he left for England. Uh, he had this connection, and we were waiting for the season to get over in 2012. The
yeah,
opportunity was there, and yeah, I mean, I got a good 7 days with Wigan Athletic. It was a very, very good taste of how English football is played and how good the Premier League level is. And
yeah,
I was very, very fortunate that the club was very happy with me as well, and they thought that I was a good prospect.
yeah,
Um, but they didn't want to get in complications. They were like, if you are a free agent, or if you can get out of your club and be a free agent, we will happily sign you and send you to a sister club elsewhere in Europe until you,
yeah,
make way up the ranks, and who knows, things can happen. And I was like fully excited. I was like, yaar, 7 दिन में, so much has happened and stuff like that. So I'm writing emails and calling East Bengal and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, sir, this is the opportunity. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity and stuff like that. But due to my contractual obligations, kill.
But eventually you didn't sign a contract extension and you went to Stabaek in 2014. Now, Norway is a very interesting place. सुबह
I know,
3
right?
बजे वहाँ पे धूप निकल रही है. खुद खाना बनाना पड़ रहा है. You pack for only a week, but you end up spending, I think, 6-7 months over there. Tell us
Yeah.
about Norway. Tell us about Stabaek and how difficult, how challenging was it?
Oh my God, the best 3 years of my career. I mean, so far. Um, yeah, as you mentioned, I had already decided that I'm not going to sign an extension with the club
Yeah.
because, as I said, I was already a dog on the leash. You've already fueled my fire by not letting me go. Now I want to go, right?
Yeah.
And thanks to Ali Al Habsi, Norway was an option because the goalkeeper coach that he got trained from in Norway was in a club who was looking for a good prospect goalkeeper, and that's how I
Right.
got in
Yeah.
connection with him. And he's like, more than welcome. You can come and train with us and show us what you got. And Bob Bradley was the head coach of the team back then.
Yeah.
He was the US national team coach.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I go to Norway without expectations, right? As I said, 7 days bag, like handbag, and I'm thinking, ki bhai, yaar, trial there, then go back to India, enjoy with the family, and that's it, and maybe look
Yeah.
for a club in India. And I tell you, before leaving for Norway, I was already talking to some clubs in India, and
Okay.
I talked to BFC as well. I was talking to East Bengal as well. And
Yeah.
I just told them that if the thing in Norway doesn't work out, I'll come back and happily sign. But I won't sign anything before leaving. That's what they wanted me to do. But I said, not right
Right.
now. So yeah, I mean, I go to Norway, 7 days become 14 days, 14 days become 1 month, 2 months. And once the summer window opens in Norway, they were like, we would like you to sign a 3-year contract.
Yeah.
And I was like, दे दो.
दे दो दोनों हाथ से.
हाँ. Yeah.
No, but this
So
isn't easy,
I
Gurpreet, because
went.
वहाँ पे I think the Ivory Coast second keeper was their main
Oh,
keeper. Monday, I
what
think
a
his name
lad!
was. So it wasn't easy for you.
What a lad! What a
Tell us
lad!
about that.
So the thing is, wherever I went in my career, fortunately, I've got competition, right? So in Norway, I had Mande Sayoba, as you mentioned. He's already at this time in 2017. He's already played 5 years for the club, and he's brought them out of relegation and brought them to the
Right.
first division. So he's a
Third
legend.
position in
Yeah,
that season. Yeah.
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 He's a legend at the club. And he's in the Ivory Coast national team. He has played with the likes of Didier Drogba, Yaya Toure. So he's a good keeper, right? And
Yeah.
and to put him on the bench is the most difficult thing you can imagine as a coach and as a second keeper. But the best
Yeah.
guy that you can train with. So yeah, I mean, I was very, very fortunate that he was there because every single day that I was not playing, but I was training with him, was making me
Yeah.
uh, better. And I think it took me around one season to get used to the level, and one more season to surpass his level, so that I'm in the eye of the coach, and he thinks that I deserve a chance. So that's when I got my chance. When I was, I think at that point, a little bit better than Monday.
And it couldn't have been easy because you would call up your mother and your sister to give you recipes. Khana kaise banana hai. You became very independent for the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
time, really, because you were
yeah,
away from home.
yeah, yeah. I mean, as a Indian male kid, things are very easy and stuff like that. घर पे सब है. And India, you had the guy who can cook, who can clean your car and stuff like that. And when you go to a place where you have to do things on your own,
Yeah.
you struggle. And fortunately, I didn't want to leave. And if I had to learn how to cook, I would learn how to cook. So I used to call my mom, my sister, and ask them about how to cook, how to make tadka, how to make dal, how to make rice, all the basics. And as football, my cooking skills also grew with time. Yeah, yeah.
How are they now? What would you give yourself in terms of your cooking skills on 10 right now? Now that
Surviving,
you're vegan as well.
surviving. 5 or 6 out of 10. Not मेरा खाना खाओगे तो शायद थूक भी दोगे, पर मेरे लिए ठीक है.
I think your flatmate in Sydney needs to confirm what your skills are like.
My skills, see, as long as I'm cooking something very easy, is fine. Dal or something like that is fine.
Baki, I've seen you. Yeah, you take like this grinder and then you put everything in it and then you just make it a smoothie and then you have it.
Smart. Someday I will open a smoothie shop.
I don't think I want to have that just yet. I think I'll let a few other people try it before doing it. No, so this happens in Norway. Obviously, it wasn't easy for you. Eventually comes the big news. Acha, abhi tak India mein lot of people know. I think most people don't know what Stabaek is. Or Norway is.
They think it's in Denmark. They think it's in Finland, Poland. Firstly, it's the wrong country. Forget the club. It's the wrong country. So where are you playing? Denmark? Oh, okay. Finland.
Setbaek FC.
Norway. Setbaek.
Yeah.
Hopeless.
No, but then this is where it happens, and I think somebody just mentioned it as well. You became the first player to play in Europe. You were actually the first player to play in Europa League, and I remember I think you were mentioning that you were so happy that you found yourself in the starting 11 because you weren't sure that you were going to start that game against Konaski in the Europa League qualifiers.
Apparently, I had a feeling because I had started the cup games and the league game before that game. So the momentum was there. I had played around 4 games before that game in a consecutive order. But when I saw my name in the team sheet, I was over the moon, and I thought this is the opportunity that I worked for. I tell this a lot of time. That when we finished the season and we finished third, that's when we got to know that we are going to play that Europa Cup qualifier. And after the season ends, we are doing the season, get together, party and stuff like that. Before I leave for India, I talked to myself and I told myself that no matter, if I don't play any game, no problem, but I want to play that game. That one game I want to play. If I don't play any other game, no problem. Somehow I have to play that game. I told myself that you need to work, you need to do something that you have to play that game, because that game is one in a millionth chance. And if you manage to play that game, boy, the things will change. And that's kind of what happened.
And then the Hindi film that your life story is unfolds once again. 13-14 minute baad, you get an injury and the fracture.
Yeah, after 13 minutes, I'm going for a 50-50 ball with the striker on a cross. I missed the ball completely. I hit the guy in the head with my little finger. I break this bone. Yeah. And then I play another 15-20 minutes with a fracture in my hand. Then I was thinking that if someone shoots at the goal, I won't be able to put my hand in because it's too much. And around 40 minutes, I just sit down on the pitch and just walk away. But I didn't feel bad at all because I got to play those 40 minutes. And those 40 minutes were so good.
I wanted to ask you a Sunil Chhetri question. Piano toda ki nahi? Striker ka, the one you hit.
नहीं, उसके बाद मैंने सीखा कैसे तोड़ना है. उस टाइम टूटा नहीं. उसके बाद से मैंने डिसाइड कर लिया कि भाई अगर जाना है तो तोड़ना जरूर है.
Should I ask you the piano story? You want to tell people watching this what that piano story is?
Yeah, I mean, ask me, man. Like, I've broken pianos of other people. I've broken pianos of my own defenders. So things like
When you say piano, it means the
piano or
ribs.
a guitar. I've
Oh,
had a new guitar. The guitar. So the guitar and the piano. This is piano. This is
I got
guitar.
it.
Okay, these are the rib cages. So when you go for a 50-50 ball, you give them a good one in the guitar.
Good, nice one. That's something that Eugene, Dimas, and Kunal Majgaonkar, all three of them can be proud of since they're such good guitar players.
Yeah, they love it.
This is awesome. Okay, now there was a question from Kisle Mishra who said, "Why did you leave Stabaek FC? You seem to be doing so well over there." Because then you came to the ISL.
I I didn't want to leave, but it's something that just happened and had to happen. Firstly, my contract was expiring. Uh, I didn't want to continue because I wasn't getting that game time
Yeah,
from the new coach that had come into Stabaek after Bob Bradley left. And when you know that the coach doesn't want to give you a chance, doesn't believe in trying new things, and want to go with the experienced guy, that's when you kind of like know that this is not the place for me. And my first intention is to stay in Europe, and I tried my best to stay in Europe. But the options that were coming for me were one or two options were there, but they were kind of under the level of where I was. So I didn't want to uh, be in Europe under a level which I was already in. I would rather go back to India and be there if I had to.
yeah,
So we are trying to talk with the people. We have 1 month. There's only 1 month of summer window in Norway. So
yeah.
we have managed to talk to a club in Portugal called Boa Vista. They are the club in the first division, and talks are going good. They have three keepers at that time, and they're like, we can't have you right now in the summer window, but if you manage to go on loan somewhere else for this one season, we are
Yeah.
ready to bring you back in for the next season. And it's like, yeah, sure. And that's when I started to talk to the ISL clubs for that
Yeah.
one season, क्या कहते हैं उसको lay by.
Lay by. Yeah, that's the one.
हाँ.
Right.
So I've already put in a request to the club that I want to leave because I've already found a club in Europe I want to go to, and I've already found a club in the ISL that I want to go to, right?
Hmm.
But right before the deadline day, we didn't hear anything from the Portugal club. No paperwork came back, nothing came back, no answer came back, no phone calls came back. So at the deadline day, I'm stranded with one option. That's when I decided to, stay with BFC for that one season. And then after that season, if we get a call back, any answer back, I'll happily go to that club in Portugal. But once you come to BFC, you don't hear anything. You're doing well. You want to play in Asia. You're
Yeah.
playing in Asia. The club is very ambitious and wants to win trophies. And I love playing at BFC as well. I see their vision, their belief in me as well. And we get together, and I tell them my intention that I want to stay here with BFC, and I want to play for them as well for a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, they offered me a 5-year deal, and I happily accepted it. And I told them that if an opportunity does come from Europe, that they would help me out, and that's what they accepted. So, if something comes
Yeah.
up, you never know.
A couple of things, Gurpreet. Number one, Sunil Chetri joined us on the live and he said that he doesn't do it intentionally, that piano guitar thing that you do, and he
No,
doesn't mean to injure
intentionally नहीं
anyone.
करता. नहीं.
So let's just
Intentionally
stand
never,
corrected. The
never.
elder statesman is in the house and he's announced it. So let's just clear the air for all the fans who are watching this.
Intentional तो किसी को नहीं ठोकते यार.
Definitely not if Sunil's going for the ball, right? In training.
नहीं, Chetri bhai.
That's important.
Chetri bhai jumps, and I go like when Chetri bhai comes.
Yeah, but when you're speaking about you becoming a Blue, Bengaluru said that as well. That's the day you became a Blue, and West Block Blues call it the coup. It was a great day because I think you had offers from pretty much every ISL club except for Mumbai, who had Amrinder, and you decided to go with Bengaluru. How much was AFC the reason? Because eventually you would go to DPR. All of it. Yeah, that's.
I wanted to play the continental games. I wanted to play at that stage because I felt like it is more competitive. The level is higher. BFC plays great football as well. Albert Roca at that time was making BFC play one of the best football. And yes, my passing is not great, but I can be better when I joined BFC. And yeah, AFC was one of the biggest reasons I joined BFC because of their aims and their ambitions, as I said as well, to do well at the continental stages.
Yeah, and I remember reading Kunal's article in one of the publications where he speaks about, by the way, Sunil just called you the best signing in the last 7 years, period. तारीफों के पुल बांधे जा रहे हैं.
बिल्कुल पाजी मैं कहता हूँ विराट कोहली को भी मैसेज कर दो ये वाला.
Excellent. Okay. I wanted to talk to you about that particular incident where you have a 3-0 lead in the interzonal semifinals, and then you go to DPR Korea, and I remember reading Kunal's article about how difficult it was. The bags come late. Sunil Bhai's boots had not arrived, but I think your boots were too big, your spare boots for him to obviously wear. It was a difficult game, but that was sort of the first time you felt I belong here, and now's the time for me to take the big step up.
Of course, yeah. I mean, when we played that game at home, we were very fortunate that it rained because we had this 3-0 lead. After that 3-0 lead against North Korea, they were flying. They were so good, but it rained, so they weren't able to do much with the rain. And we go to North Korea knowing that they are waiting for us like dogs.
Yeah,
they will play a good football because they are very talented. But yeah, it's one of those days where everything clicks. We go there, and I don't know. I feel like the atmosphere and the ground and stuff like that. It's meant to be played with good football and good quality. And we as a team played together. That's the most important thing that I get from there is the whole team stuck together. Even if we were tired together. Even if we were defending, we were together. And that's the only thing that got us through that game. And
yeah,
I think I just did my job. If I had to save a penalty, I guessed it right and saved the penalty. If I had to save a low shot, I did that. As I said, I did my job correctly. And yes, I broke one of the pianos as well of the striker.
You're not going to let that go, is it? Sunil Bhai just added saying that game was them versus Gurpreet. I'm so glad that it wasn't telecast. I think it's because you broke a few pianos.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's just put it that way. Okay, now then the ISL starts, and you said you were so excited to join BFC in particular. Roca's BFC were playing some great football that season. 40 points in the season, GSS. By far and above the best team. And then eventually the final happens. A couple of headers from Wilson Alves. And then you not only miss your golden glove, you also miss the chance to lift the trophy. And of course, there was no shield that time, so you don't get that either. What was it like? Just that whole season and that night in particular, the Kantira?
Oh, that was very weird, man. That was one of the worst experiences as a team, like Michael Jordan has, experienced them as well, as you can see in the last dance. When you lose the
Yeah.
finals, losing the finals is the biggest setback. But I think it's either you can take it two ways. Either you can just give in and be like, "यार, मतलब नहीं होगा," or either you can be like, "Nope, next year we are going to come to this stage again and we are going to lift that trophy." And that's what happened with us in that stadium at that night. We promised each other that we are going to come back in the finals and we are going to lift this trophy. And everyone worked towards that. And on the other side,
Yeah.
I would like to also mention that since I played 3 years of football in Norway where things were league stage based, right? I was still in that mindset when we were playing the league stage. So when you're,
Yeah.
playing in the league, you're 40 points, 10 points ahead from the second spot. You feel like, yaar, ab to ho gaya kaam, abhi to aur kya hai? Then you play the semi-final and final. So the shift for me was a very difficult one to understand at that point. But after that season, it was easy to, be in that dynamic.
Adi, thanks for sticking on. I hope you had your refreshment break and your comfort break as well while this was going on. I was trying to save the video.
नहीं कुछ नहीं मैं light on कर रहा था बस. Lighting is so important.
Very, yeah.
Very well.
Now you're so media trained. You know all of these things.
I have professional light also. On नहीं है but है.
But you do like makeup and stuff as well now that you're so media trained when you go for these interviews or these launches and things like that.
मैं खुद नहीं करता हूँ अगर कोई कर देता है तो
कोई
different
कर दे तो
हाँ I don't know how to do it myself.
it's difficult to do makeup, right? If you're sitting in a car that's drifting in the sands of Jordan.
Oh, don't remind me of those times. They were very good.
Well, for good or bad? Oh, very good.
They were good, very, very different experiences. Like something that I've never
Yeah.
experienced, and to know that some guy who does this on a daily basis is crazy, man.
You love your cars, right? You had a Lexus, I remember, which I think you gifted to your father, and then you bought another one eventually. But
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
still
see you
sitting in
drifting
Bangalore.
in the. Was it in Bangalore? Yeah, of course. You haven't. I hope it's okay because you've been away for so long now.
बैटरी की तार निकाल दी थी मैंने कोई टेंशन नहीं.
Alright, this conversation has gone from pianos to car batteries now. So I'm going to swiftly move on to winning the Super Cup, Gurpreet, because you said you guys were hurting, and of course you wanted to come back. You wanted to come back to the same stage and win. But even before that, before Albert Roca left, you guys won the Super Cup. How charged up were you to win that in particular? Because by that time, a lot of teams let go of their foreigners, and they say, "All right, season's over anyway."
Of course, I mean, for many of the teams, it might not have been the most important cup of the season, but for us, it was an opportunity to salvage something out of the season because we had such a great run in the league stages and in the semifinals that I think we deserved some kind of reconciliation and some kind of victory to give peace to ourselves a little bit. It wasn't the whole thing, but the Super Cup did give us that push that this system, this organization, this team is great and it can win the ISL trophy.
And then eventually that ISL trophy comes with that famous Rahul Bheke header in Mumbai. But before that, in that entire season, it didn't go as smoothly as the previous season. I remember you mentioning that you guys had friendlies with Barcelona B and Villarreal B with Carlos, which really helped you guys prepare for what the challenges that were going to come.
One of the best games, or I would say two of the best games that I've played in my career, and so fortunate to do so. Playing against Barcelona B and Villarreal. But I think once the season ended and Albert Roca, he said he won't be able to, coach us the next season. We were very, very sad, and we didn't know what's going to happen in the future because our plan and our mindset was like with Albert Roca in mind. But after that, when we got the news that Carles will lead us, is what
Yeah.
gave us a fresh energy, fresh perspective. The same kind of football, the same kind of mindset. So a familiar face is very important, and that news, that decision helped us a lot going into the season.
Yeah, it certainly did, and it showed in some of the results that came. I distinctly remember one game where Bengaluru were playing FC Goa. Nishu Kumar gets a red card early on, and then eventually you go on to win. I think 3-0 the score
Yeah,
was, and
at home.
just to ensure that you top the league once again.
Yeah, yeah. We played at home that game. Unfortunately, Nishu gets a red card, but I think it's
Yeah,
one of those games. Even it has happened last season as well, where 10 men are more powerful and resilient than 11 men on the pitch. And games like those defined our season and the way we're going to
yeah,
play, and how important it was to win. No matter if we have already qualified for the semifinals, no matter if there's nothing for the top spot like it is now. Now the top
yeah.
spot gets the Champions League, but for us, finishing at the top was very, very important to make sure that FC has to be at the top.
Yeah, first team to win, to top the league and then win the trophy as well. So that was nicely covered. So no more hashtags this time from you. But
Yeah.
but then comes another season, the season 6, which is 2019-20. What were some of your learnings, Gurpreet, from this season? Even before we come to the semi-finals, what were some of the things that you noticed were different from the title-winning season?
Uh, I think to know that if you slip, there's always going to be someone behind you. That's what I learned from the last season, and
Yeah,
it's important to know that, because BFC, as I said, is a club who has you know done so much in the last 6-7 years that people expect BFC to win trophies, and that's what people at BFC want to do as well. So a slip up can cost you, a trophy, and we want to make sure that we arrive at that final. Winning the trophy or not, the trophy is a different thing, but to give yourself the opportunity to win a trophy is by going to the final, and that's what I
yeah.
think we as a club should not forget. And I'm pretty sure that the boys and the staff, everyone knows that, and will work towards the next season as well.
Yeah, I remember hearing Sunil Chetri's speech in the Bengaluru FC Awards, where he says winning a trophy is not easy, guys, and sometimes it's just taken for granted when you're playing for Bengaluru because of the lofty standards that they've set for themselves. But just that season in particular, the second leg of the semi-final comes to mind, because there was a question from Debashri, who I'm guessing is from Kolkata. I think, what was his reaction after the semi-final second leg? You guys had the lead going into it.
Oh, okay. Uh, his reaction, as in Debashri's reaction, or
No,
my reaction?
your
Uh,
reaction.
I
He
mean,
wanted me to ask you the question.
yeah, I mean, we had won the game at home against ATK, and ATK, let me tell you, was one of the most organized and difficult side to play because of the way they defend, and to break down such teams, you need a lot of quality, and also to make sure that whatever chances you get in their half in front of their goal, you need to finish them. Be it
Yeah.
you hit the target or not hit the target, but you need to finish them. And if you don't, you have Roy Krishnas and Williams to deal with on the counters. And I think we did that pretty well in the first leg. In the second leg, it's just pure quality of the ATK players, which was shown, and how they played football in those 90 minutes was truly amazing. I think they deserved that result as well,
Yeah.
because we as I mentioned, we slipped, and we gave that opportunity for another team to be the better team.
what is a better header for you? Rahul Bheke's header to win the ISL or David Williams' header to take ATK to the final?
If David Williams had won the ISL, I would have said yes. But I would say Rahul Bheke's header because he got us the trophy.
Yeah, can't disagree. Some angle that was as well. I was standing pitch side, I remember, and watching.
But
it.
David Williams' header was a typical very good striker's header. You know, it's something which only a good striker can do, and I'm pretty sure he does that on a daily basis in training pitch as well.
Speaking of training pitches, of course, the India journey was still carrying on. I've actually got a round that I play, which it's been a riveting conversation. I've not gone to any of the rounds that I play, so I call it Let's Football Live, one touch football. Okay, so let's try and see if you can answer some of the fan questions. This is not the rapid fire. This is one touch, but you have to answer some of the fan questions.
No problem.
Ready? Pratik Agarwal says, "Do you read books? Which ones are you currently reading?"
I don't read books that much, but I was reading. I think. क्या नाम है यार उसका बंदे का? देखो rapid fire. Yeah. I forgot, but it was regarding space. Is that
regarding space? Okay, that's a very narrow topic for me to choose from.
As in universe. Universe.
Amazing. Okay. All right. Please do let your fans know that this is the book. Maybe post a story about it.
Let me just say I don't read that many books.
Okay. So talking about something that you do, there's somebody who asked a question saying also looking forward to more of your sketches in the coming season. What's your favorite sketch?
Oh, definitely the Dragon Ball Z characters. I used to draw them as a kid when my mom used to buy me pencil boxes. You know, you used to get pencil boxes with the cartoons on it. So I used to draw those characters.
Okay.
And I still love to do that.
But do you have like a sketchbook or something? Eventually, when you finish off you plan to auction it at some stage when you finish off your career?
I was about to do a kind of a small exhibition. कि आओ मेरा talent देखो. But because of this, we couldn't, because of the pandemic.
Yeah, Keen Lewis is also on the conversation saying, artist bhai, #GSS.
Artist तो वो है जिसने सबको vegetarian बनाया.
You mean vegan?
हाँ, ये अब first ये वो है जो पेड़ से apple गिरा ना first time. Keen Lewis is that apple.
Yeah, he's vegan and he's very serious about it as well, which is good. So, but is that a transformation now in the Bengaluru dressing room? Everybody is
not everyone. It's a very personal choice. It's a very personal choice. So not everyone is. कौन है वो भी बताऊं क्या?
बताओ please.
Chetri bhai.
Yeah, Keen, yourself.
हाँ बस. I think Eric also.
That's it. I think Kabra bhai as well, because he posted a story saying one year vegan or something like that. I remember seeing that.
Vegan तो नहीं कह सकते. सुबह 4 बजे वाले जो पराठे खाते हैं कभी-कभी, तो vegan वाले तो नहीं होते वो. But yeah, I support you.
Okay. I support you. All right. But do you miss the other side at all? Now that you've turned vegan, or is that just a way of life? It's because of your career, or is it just something that you think you're happier with personally as well?
See, my reasons were both sides. I mean, I did it for my body, but I did it for moral reasons as well.
Right.
Because of a lot of research that I came across and I did was, like it's a very wide topic. It's a very personal topic as well. If you try to talk to people about it and they don't like vegetarians and veganism and stuff like that, they get very offended. So I try to keep it no talk.
Yeah. To each their own. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I like what Keen said, plant power. I think we'll call it plant power. It's such an empowering term. Abhi ऊपर गया है comment. I just happened to see it. I saw it because it's got a verified account. I managed to.
अरे यार, आपने वो शो देखे हैं वेलकम टू माय हाउस या ऐसे करके पहले शो आते थे एमटीवी पे?
नहीं, I haven't seen it.
तो कीन के घर में जाओगे ना आप, कीन के घर में आप जाओगे तो उसके दरवाजा खोल के सामने टेबल है, टेबल पे सब्जी मंडी है।
Okay.
और फिर आप कीन को नहीं देख पाओगे। पहले कीन खड़ा होगा सब्जी के पीछे, पहले देखेगी सब्जी मंडी।
If you can send us a picture of that, maybe we'll get an idea of what you're saying. But I can visualize it. Sabzi mandi, uske piche Keen Lewis.
हाँ, कीन is saying contact me for vegan counseling. अरे वाह,
क्या देखो फ्री में काउंसलिंग मिल रही है और क्या, ले लो दोनों हाथ से, like you took the Stabaek contract.
कीन एंड सब्जी, पता नहीं किसको पहले देखना,
Yeah.
सब्जी को कि कीन को, समझ नहीं आता। ब्रोकली चोर साला।
Oh wow, that's a great story. Keen,
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to you about that broccoli chori as well at some stage. But listen, I have a rapid fire going on. What are you doing? Wait, let me carry on. Okay, Mr. 984 official says, what are your goals for 2021? I'm guessing your goals are clean sheets, right? That would be
My
your
goals are back volley, side volley, front volley, and consistency.
Consistency. That's a good note to finish that answer on. Ban LR01, I'm guessing that means Bangalore 01, says, just give us a clue. Who are the new signings in the team? Well, watch Instagram Live with Parth Jindal, you'll know.
सही में यार, we have signed couple of new players, young players. Even I don't know who are the new players, but I know one person who knows. You know him as well, Captain Fantastic, SC11.
Yeah. Yes. That's
He
right.
knows everything. He knows before.
He knows everything.
He knows before the CEO knows.
The
Main
one
scout.
thing about Sunil Chhetri that nobody knows but you know.
Actually, he's not just a player. He is accountant, scout, recruitment, और क्या बैलेंस शीट और क्या, बस कुक नहीं, फिजिकल
He
ट्रेनर,
doesn't cook.
फिजिकल ट्रेनर।
Physical trainer. Okay. Right. Then the next one, this has come on YouTube. So this is all from Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and everywhere else that I could
Wide
find.
search.
So Minhal Nufal asks, would you rather save all the penalties in the shootout or keep a clean sheet? I'm a big fan of you, Gurpreet sir.
If we win, I'll keep the clean sheet.
You keep the
Better,
clean sheet.
yaar.
Okay.
Why make the players play another 30 minutes and be dead by the end?
Go to the penalties, yeah, as well. Yeah, I want to talk about the clean sheet against for India as well, but we'll just finish this round first. Ibrahim AP asks, Sunil Chhetri versus Gurpreet penalty, who wins? I don't think you want to upset Sunil Chhetri if he's playing Ludo or if he's taking penalties.
He wins.
As far as I know. He wins. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the best
safe
penalty
answer,
taker
safe.
you have seen?
That's a good
And that could
question,
include
yaar.
internationals and Indian footballers. Like I'm talking about everybody.
Ogbeche is a very good penalty taker, as everyone saw last season.
Yeah.
Chhetri Bhai definitely is a great penalty taker. Miku, very confident penalty taker, good skill. Anyone with a good foot and good power is a good penalty taker. But these three are the ones that come to my mind. Even Koro, he scored against me as well last year. Good penalty.
Yeah.
So all of these guys, yeah.
Can't say that about Labi and Stankovic, but that's for another
देखो
day.
जिनकी सेव हो गई तो उनका तो माइनस हो गया ना, गोल मारा
Minus
था
हो
तो,
गया.
but they are good definitely, no doubts about that.
And the best striker that you face? I'm sorry, I'm just deviating because this is interesting.
Ask. Best striker that I faced, package deal, I would say Miku.
Yeah.
I mean, I faced him in training. I know what he can do, what he's capable of. As in, like, I don't know what he will do, but I know what he's capable of, and he's capable of a lot of things.
He scored some great goals, but the single biggest memory of Miku I have is Kolkata Salt Lake.
No. That goal is nothing in front of this goal that he scored against me in training. The first season, We are training in BFS, and Matlab Miku was a new player and stuff like that, and he scored this unbelievable goal. I don't know how he scored. Like I was in the perfect position, all angles covered, and still he managed to score. He got the ball lobbed. He received on his chest without the ball dropping to his on the ground. He received on his thigh and he just placed it past me very easily. I've never seen anyone do that. God give
Amazing.
talent.
Wow. That he had in abundance for sure. I mean, he has in abundance
Yeah,
wherever he plays next. Hopefully, we get to see him in Indian football again because that's when we get to see more of him.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, but I remember that goal he scored at the Salt Lake when Partulu scored the winner against ATK. That was I've never seen a
Yeah.
ball hit that hard, and I remember Paul Mason going all
Even
gaga over it.
against
But I saw it pitch side.
even against FC Goa at home, or was it Kerala? I think FC Goa at home. When the
Yeah,
league game when we won against FC Goa 2018, I think. The 23 yard or 24-yard screamer that he scored at home.
yeah. There was one against I think Chennai as well, which was the beginning of the 2018-19 season. I think the first game of the season that was for BFC and Chennai, and he scored a screamer. Sunil Bhai scored a similar goal this season against Chennai, just
Yeah.
from far outside the box. It was very reminiscent of what we could. Anyway, okay, moving on. Great players, all of them. Subharti Vlogs asks, Gurpreet sir, you are my inspiration. My question is, how to save a perfect penalty? आगे वापस सॉरी यार
गायब हो गई क्या? मलाड वेस्ट में वाईफाई नहीं चल रहा?
mud island that happens sometimes sorry
मड आइलैंड में वाईफाई नहीं चल रहा. Anyways, perfect penalty you can't save it. If it's a perfect penalty you can't save it. Even if you try your
fair enough.
best.
All right, okay, so AA Football wants to know, first of all, I love you and I wanted to ask that how can I get selected to play in the ISL or the I League? What steps should I take?
Contact Sunil Chhetri for that.
Yeah, super agent Sunil Chhetri. Okay.
Yes.
Things we
Super
learn.
scout.
We never. Yeah, super scout. Bella Gonzalez and Jeet Tamang both had the same question. My question for Gurpreet is that if not BFC, then in which team would he love to play in ISL? Please do ask this question.
Please, ऐसा बोला उसने कि please ask this.
हाँ
question.
लिखा है मैं कभी चेंज नहीं करता सवाल जो लिखा है वही पूछा है मैंने.
देखो ये बड़ा मतलब सेंसिटिव सवाल है, इसका कोई क्वेश्चन का आंसर नहीं मिल सकता.
नहीं पर people have given this answer in the live before. I'm just saying that people have set that benchmark and they've put their neck on the line and they've said, look, I obviously I'm playing for BFC. 5 साल का मेरा contract है. I don't want to upset Mandar or Parth, but at the end of the day, if I get a chance after that.
कौन बोला?
A lot of people have said in the past which club they want to play for if it weren't to be their current club. So I remember Hugo Bumu telling me that, listen, it's football, anything can happen, even though he has 2 years on with FC Goa.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I would say ATK or Kerala.
Noted, my lord. ATK and
नहीं पर अब ATK तो ATK रहा नहीं, अभी तो different हो गया.
ATK Mohan Bagan. Yeah, that's true. All right, okay. So you still get to play the AFC Cup qualifiers with BFC. So the reason why you joined BFC still pretty much holds true. Okay, now Naga Lakshmi Prashant wanted to know if you had a choice to be something else other than a goalkeeper, what would it be?
Ball boy.
That's interesting. Ball boy.
नहीं, goalkeeper coach.
Goalkeeper coach. Okay.
अच्छा, if not football, then I would be maybe a police wala.
Okay. And there is a history of that in the family, so that you won't mind that at all. Family tradition. Well done. Saira Fazal wants, she sent I'm guessing it's a she. Saira Fazal wants to ask a few questions actually, and you can answer as quickly as possible. When do you think India will make it to the World Cup?
Someday. You can't give an answer on that, Until we don't qualify.
you gave us a prediction that Chhetri Bhai will be playing for another 6-7 years. Will India will get to a World Cup in this decade,
If we
2030,
qualify, yes.
2034. All right, okay. Your favorite European club?
European United.
Okay.
I don't have
Messi
a
or
favorite, let me say that.
overall, you just like everybody.
Yeah.
Say Stabaek if you want to, because you had your three best
Stabaek,
years.
yes, but yes. Stabaek.
Okay. Messi or Cristiano? I think Cristiano, right? You like Cristiano.
I love Ronaldo's work ethic, his ability, and the way he scores goals. But I think I would say Messi just because it's unseen. You can't see this anymore, or haven't seen that
Right.
before. What Messi does.
And if you were to
Even
pick a
Ronaldo
five-a-side team with international footballers, what would that be? Or with anybody you know?
Right now, I think I would pick Jan Oblak in goal. At the back, I would pick Ramos. In the middle, I would pick क्या नाम है यार उसका भाई का De Bruyne.
Andre Pirlo?
नहीं
Oh, De Bruyne, okay.
De Bruyne. Zidane. कितने हो गए? 4.
Oblak, Ramos, Zidane, and De Bruyne. Yeah.
हाँ. और Messi.
Messi. Okay, interesting. Somebody's also asked you, since your father watches so much cricket, maybe you can answer this. Your favorite IPL team?
IPL team. Kings 11
Yeah.
Punjab.
Kings 11 Punjab. Yeah, why not? Of course. Which is your favorite player in the ISL and in the world?
World.
Arivu SMN wants to ask that question. Yes.
Last year it was Hugo Bumas. He was, leaps and bounds better than everyone else, and truly deserved the MVP. And in the world, I would say Ronaldo, because of the way he takes care of himself and sets a good example of work ethic.
Okay. And the Lost Emperor comes up with the last question, which is your favorite song? Yeah.
Naam. Very good.
The Lost Emperor.
Wow. Favorite song?
Sidhu Moosewala.
Sidhu Moosewala.
No, not
yes.
anymore.
Sidhu Moosewala.
Yeah. Any Sidhu Moosewala
Any
song.
Sidhu Moosewala. Death Route.
Yeah. Death Route. Okay. You actually recommended a few to me in the past, so thank you so much. It gets me going sometimes when I've had to cook too much in the kitchen, when I'm down and out.
Yeah.
करना पड़ता है.
Good.
सभी को करना पड़ता है.
Good.
Okay, then I'll come to the next round very quickly. Gurpreet, thanks for giving us so much time, but I don't want to lose the opportunity of asking you. This is going to be.
फिर जा रहे हो?
नहीं मैं जा नहीं रहा, मतलब समय काफी हो गया है. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
देखो अच्छी
Because I
बातें
realize that
करते हो
it's
तो पता नहीं चलता.
नहीं चलता actually. So this is a round that I called Tiki Taka, where I give you a few clues and you have to guess the player I'm talking about. Okay. All right. I have just 2 fewer national team caps than you, and made my national team debut 4 years. No, that's not 4 years, because 2011 is wrong. I made my national team debut after you did in Stephen Constantine's first game in charge in his second stint.
Sandesh.
Well done. I thought that was a difficult clue. You got it right in the first go.
I think Sandesh and I debuted same game.
Together against Iran?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I think he did it in the Nepal game, if I'm not wrong. I think it must have been.
He did it in the Nepal game. पता नहीं यार उसके पैर पे एक टैटू है उसने वो it's the date of his debut. So अभी कौन सी भाषा में लिखा है वो समझ नहीं आता. So yeah, I don't know.
What's it like? What's it like playing with Sandesh? You guys both come from the same part of the country.
Oh, absolute charm, man. He's the proper defender. He's the guy who gives that surety, gives that confidence that someone is there in front of you who will do their absolute best to avoid anything at the goal. And the kind of understanding that I have with Sandesh on and off the pitch is it's great, and I hope it keeps continuing like this. And it's good to see him back on his feet, running and being fit again, because the national team and Indian football needs him.
Yeah, can't disagree with that. Okay, time for my second clue, and that's let's see if you can get this player right. My debut season in Hero ISL came in 2015, where I just kept one clean sheet in the
Amrinder
13
ho gaye
games
to.
that I. God, yeah, this is amazing. I actually set difficult clues for you. मुझे लगा ये आदमी पढ़ता है. I'm going to
No,
set difficult
I
ones,
know,
but this is
and
amazing.
I've seen the ISL, I've seen the games as well in 2015 from Norway.
Brilliant. Okay. And speaking of Amrinder, I mean, everybody says we are blessed in India that we have two of the best goalkeepers, in our time, Amrinder and Gurpreet. What's it like? What's it like sharing a dressing room with Amrinder Singh? What's your relationship like off the pitch as well?
See, like I was mentioning before as well, that having such great competition is so rare. And I'm very, very fortunate that I've had that in my club career as well in some stages and in the national team right now. And even before with Subroto Bhai, it was there. It's something that I can't reiterate more about how important it is for the growth of two players, not one, but two players, for me and him.
Yeah.
And I'm very selfless about when it comes to Amrinder, and I know how much he's capable of, and I want the best for him. So whenever we train and whenever we hang out, especially when we train, we try to help each other out a lot. There's no malice. You know how they say, there's no malice in the relationship. It's a shame that a lot of people make it about the competition, who is better, who is not. But it's not about that. On the given day, me and him, we both know that we put the work in, and it's not ours, but it's the coach's decision who has to play. And we, with a whole heart, we go out on the pitch and we train, and we have a great relationship off the pitch as well. So I hope it remains like that, because it is a privilege to share a dressing room with a guy who is so talented and has worked so hard. Because I've seen him come through the ranks as well from Pune FC, and the way he has grown and established himself now is truly remarkable and such a great story as well.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm sure the West Coast Brigade and fans of Mumbai City FC will be really happy to hear that. That save against Beche in Kochi was brilliant.
It's good for the banter and stuff like that, but I hope you guys also appreciate this time, because it's something that happens very rarely, and hope everyone enjoys it together.
And it's not just that, because there's Arindam as well, who's been around so long. He had a great ISL season, and you know him much better.
I was thinking about this before the live as well, and I wanted to take a moment and say this as well, that the contribution that Arindam Bhai had in the last season for his team should not be overlooked. The way he played for his team, especially in some of the games, like in the game against BFC in the second semi-final. People talk about the Williams header, they talk about Roy Krishna's goal, but they don't talk about Arindam's saves that he made in the crucial times and in the finals as well. He saved so many goals. So I think it's important to recognize everyone doing their job correctly and supporting them, and not to make it, personal battles. It's important to, give that same level of respect to everyone who's trying to do their job correctly. Because, as I say, goalkeepers cannot make mistakes. If you make a mistake, the result is very bad.
I agree with that completely. And you've spoken very highly of Tomislav Rogic, in particular, the goalkeeping coach. While India is blessed to have such good goalkeepers and in good form at the moment, how does a goalkeeping coach like Rogic, help out with, your daily routines? Because you guys are good at your job, but you still need to take that next step to be good in Asia.
Oh, we are nothing without a goalkeeper coach. We might be good and talented and whatsoever the case is, but we are nothing without training, and nothing without someone who doesn't push us. And that's what Tomislav Rogic has brought in the dynamic, and the kind of trainings that we do with him are truly amazing. He pushes us a lot, which which makes us better, and we know it, so we don't complain. We let him do his thing. And I was telling Amrinder this that this experience is truly one of the best experiences that I've had in the national team regarding training with the goalkeeper coach.
You're talking about your best experiences. I've got to ask you about that. As you can see, I've deviated from my round because our digressions are more interesting than our conversation. But that's okay. That's fine, because I wanted to ask you about getting the captain's armband, Gurpreet, in that first Asian Cup game after so long, and then captaining India to the win, because a lot of people know that you got the captain's armband for the first time against Puerto Rico, which you planned for, you prepared for. But in the Asian Cup, you were one of the stalwarts. You were one of the senior men in the squad. And then you get the captain's armband on a historic occasion for India. Just talk us through that day to us a little bit.
See, it was a great honor, no doubt, that I was getting the captain's armband on that game. But in my heart, in everyone's heart in the team, they knew who was the real leader, right? Everyone knew that Chetri Bhai is the leader, and no matter the captain's armband was on my hand, but we saw him as a captain and as a leader, and that's what was going through in my head when we walked out for that game. Yes, it gave me a good sense of pride that I was, wearing the captain's armband after winning the game against Thailand, which happened after 55 years in our history. So, having that is great, but sharing that moment with someone like Chetri Bhai was more special for me.
Yeah, that was the thing. That captaincy was rotated a few times in that Asian Cup, but that's obviously something that a lot of people say, that we know who the leader is and we know who's going to be talking in the dressing room. But is that something that you and Sunil discussed as well before the game, saying, I've been asked to be the captain for this game, or is that something that just you let it pass because it doesn't really matter too much?
See, we did have a talk, but like you just mentioned, it didn't really matter. What mattered was the result, the game. What was being decided off the pitch was not our priority, and Chetri Bhai knew it, and I knew it. So our sole focus was on the result and on the game, and that's what we did that day. That's why he scored those goals that day. That's why I got to save one or two goals that day as well, and we all returned happy.
That's when Sunil's in the team. There have been times when he's not been on the team as well, like in Doha against Qatar.
I know.
He wasn't there. You were the captain, and you were the man mountain, as you've been famously called ever since. But what was that? What was that like, Gurpreet? Because Asian champions in their home, and you come up with a performance like that with the captain's armband this time.
We had already lost a game against Oman at home. It was a tough game. We were all very tired. It took everything from us physically. But going to Qatar and finding out that Chetri Bhai is sick and he can't play the game was a huge blow for us. But I think personally, it was a great opportunity. It was a great opportunity for us as a team to show that even if we don't have the best player on the pitch, we can still go and play against the best team in Asia and make a good case for ourselves. And that's what I was also trying to, tell the players on the pitch and even before the game in the dressing room, that guys, make sure that you're not thinking about that Chetri Bhai is not there. What will we do? Who will we pass? Just trust in yourselves, trust in your abilities, and try to, do your job correctly, and rest will be taken care of. If everyone does their job correctly, we will get something out of this game, and it's not impossible. And that's what happened.
Sunil Bhai told me you might think that is Gurpreet's best performance, but trust me, it's not even close to what Gurpreet can do on a football pitch. Why is that said so often? And so many senior people say that that Qatar performance is good, but that's not the best of Gurpreet.
Yeah, I mean, I say this again that yes, that was an exceptional game, but it comes to the highlight because we got a result, we got a point, we got a clean sheet. But have I played difficult games than that? More difficult games? Yes, I have. But we didn't win those games. We didn't get a point from those games. That's why, like, those games are not talked about. I remember that the game against Iran in Iran was such a difficult game, and I was truly exhausted after the game. I wasn't exhausted after the Qatar game. Maybe it's because of the weather and the air condition in the stadium.
Oh yeah.
I had fever after the North Korean game in North Korea.
Right. Yeah.
That's how exhausted I was. That's how much I gave, and that's how much it took from me physically. So, like, I've played more difficult games, but as I say, they don't come under the radar that much.
हमने आपकी इतनी तारीफ की और आपने कहा that's not even the toughest game I've played. Okay.
नहीं,
mental note.
नहीं, I have. It is one of the toughest game, but
yeah,
as I say
but
that.
Sorry, I'm saying, but this is the time when you are, you're considered, okay, yeah, India's number one, great Wall of India and all of this. But there are games against, teams like Jordan, then games against teams like Bangladesh that happen, and suddenly everybody, brings you right back saying, okay, let's see if he can carry on as India's number one or not. How do you handle criticism, Gurpreet, when fans put you right up there on the pedestal and then bring you down?
It's something I've been used to. Thanks to my experiences with East Bengal as well. So I've faced the wrath of fans before as well. But now, thanks to social media and stuff like that, it's like right in your face, right? Yeah. Everyone can just write something and it's in your face. So to get used to that and to get past that was difficult initially, but I think over time I have worked out a routine where it doesn't affect me mentally because I know that it's my job, but mistakes happen, As I said, if you as a goalkeeper make one mistake, results are bad. And as we all know, humans do make mistakes. And, goalkeeper is a human. So that happens. But you got to live with it. You need to move past it. And I remember that one of my goalkeeper coaches, Tanmay Basu, he told me at a very young age, he said that good goalkeeper has a very short memory. So I think you can be one of those guys if you have a short memory. So if you forget about what has happened and move on to the next one, you'll play longer and you'll be more successful. And that's what I try to do, have a short memory.
Fantastic. That's a great insight. Just have a short memory, and there are no mistakes in life. There are only lessons to be learned, isn't it? So that's how we go on about our business. But since you've played, in the Europa League, you've played in Europe, you've played in the AFC Cup games as well, big games like the ones against Qatar. There's a lot of talk about Indians should go to Asia. Indians should not just be looking at European leagues to go. What is your say on something like this?
Oh, definitely players should go outside, be it Asia. Yeah. But you should go outside. You shouldn't just talk about it. See, the thing is, as you and I have talked about it as well before, that people in a country, people who don't know much about the setup and how football works, they think that the road is from a Bengaluru FC to a Real Madrid or a Bengaluru FC to a Manchester United. That's not how it works. You need to take a stop in the middle, and then you jump up from there. So players who are at the age of 15, 16, 17, the under-19 players that we have right now, if they think and they have right people to guide them, they should go outside, be it in Asia or Europe. I say Europe because you can have more number of foreigners there. In Asia, it's
Right.
only four. So the scope of you being in a team at a young age is low until you're very established, like Sunil Chetri, you know.
Yeah.
If you go at a younger age outside, at the age of 17, 18 or 19, stay there for 3, 4 years at a club where you can improve and then make a jump from there, then that's how it's done. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make that jump from there. I just got to that middle part. Chetri got to that middle part, you know. We went so late that we weren't able to make that jump in our careers to the next step because we were already way too late. So, you know, I think any player who goes at 15, 16, any player, you know,
Yeah.
doesn't need talent, only need hard work and mentality. They can do it, definitely.
Yeah, because I remember Sunil and you both saying this quite often that, you know, having gone abroad and, you know, applied your trade over there, even if you get to sit on a bench, it's fine because at the end of the day, by 21, some of the foreigners have already made the number of mistakes that you guys tend to make by say 26, 27, and they've learned from it, so they're better by the time they come to your age.
Plus, you're training day in, day out at a place where they have better players and, you know, better
Yeah.
infrastructure and better weather and things like that. They matter a lot, you know. So it's not about playing 90 minutes for, you know, Manchester United or Real Madrid. It's the journey that is important. The 6 years that you need to spend, the 3 years that you need to spend sitting
Yeah.
on the bench and training day in, day out with those foreign clubs. That's what are going to make players better for a country.
And certainly you're an example. It's already been a decade since you were first called up to the national team. लगता है 10 साल हो गए. 10 साल हो गए यार.
दाढ़ी
It's
देख
been a while. सफेद बाल आए एक दो नहीं अभी तक नहीं.
आए हैं थोड़ी.
That's just the hardship of playing in the ISL and playing in AFC competitions and all, and
Oh.
playing games like Qatar.
When you have people staring, saying so many things, it goes to your head and it makes you white.
Short memory. Short memory is important. But just how do you think, Gurpreet, the Indian football's changed in these 10 years for you? What do you think has been the most obvious difference between when you first started to where you find yourself now with the national team and even with ISL?
Oh, I think I'm very fortunate to have experienced both sides of Indian football. You know, I think the biggest difference in Indian football right now is the visibility.
Yeah.
With the introduction of ISL, Indian Super League, it has brought Indian football, to so many houses, to so many homes where it didn't go before. And just because of this visibility, the interest of football and the game has grown so much. And it will grow if it keeps going on like this for years and years. That's how change comes when people have something that they are watching for years and they want to be that. That's when change comes. And I really think that 5-6 years ago, with the introduction of the ISL, that shift came.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna try and wrap this up as quickly now, Gurpreet. But I've got this rapid fire that I play with everybody, so I've got to do it, and then we come to the end of this. So
Unfortunately,
we begin now. Saving Lavi's penalty or Stankovic's penalty?
I think Stankovic's penalty, because it was a very crucial moment in that game. The result mattered a lot. If I didn't save that penalty.
All right. Okay. Stephen Constantine or Igor Stimats?
Carles Quadrat.
Excellent answer. I had butter chicken or vegan food written, but you don't have to answer it because you've already told me how passionate you are about this. So forget that. Bigger regret. I wanted to ask you this. Red card versus Goa or the fracture in the Europa League game? You remember your red card against Goa, right? When you went to punch Lanzarote by mistake?
But he deserved that for that. But I would say the red card because it could have been avoided. The thing in the Europa League, it could not have been avoided.
Yeah. You know, you got one red card in ISL. Do you know how many yellow cards you have?
3, 4, 2, 3.
I think it's 2. I might be wrong. I'll check.
I think
Okay, bigger rivals. Kerala Blasters or Chennai FC?
Chennai.
Okay. Toughest striker to face, Krishna or Ogbeche?
Ooh. I would say Roy Krishna because he has those legs to run.
Yeah. Okay. Then sharing an East Bengal dressing room with Baichung Bhai and Renedy Bhai or sharing a dressing room with Chetri and Miku?
The things I got to learn from Baichung and Renedy Bhai was unparalleled. But I would say Chetri and Miku because daily they used to push me in training. Daily.
All right. Okay. Udanta or Rashid?
Udanta.
Sydney or Mohali?
Chandigarh.
Rogerio Ramos or Tomislav Rogic?
I think I would say Tomislav because of
Yeah.
because of the way he pushes us and he knows no matter like there's no doubt what Ramos did for us was amazing. But I think at this point in my career, the kind of training that Rogic is bringing to us is truly different and is very good.
And who's a better friend, Harmanjot Kabra or Udanta Singh?
Kabrabaji and I have played in the same club every time we've played in India. I mean, I have played in India.
The one thing about Kabra Paji that nobody knows that you want to share with us.
That he wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning and has parantha sometimes.
So he's your best pal in the team as well, Kabra Paji. Would that be safe to say? He is.
I know Kabrapaji since 2010, man. No, before that. But
Yeah.
Truly known Kabrapaji from 2010. So.
And amongst the internationals at BFC, who do you get along with the most and why?
Abhi apna fresh new case.
Who?
Eric Padalu.
Eric Patlu. Okay.
Yeah. ये नहीं होता तो
Okay.
कैसे करता?
ये तो इंग्लिश में बोल दो, कम से कम उसको समझ में तो आ जाए that you're praising him for a change.
Eric, I'm saying that you are my new best friend in BFC because if you weren't here, then who I would train with?
Amazing, GSS. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much. But I just wanted to ask you one last thing. I can't let go. If you're not sketching, if you're not drifting, if you're not being the funny guy that you are, what does Gurpreet Singh Sandhu want to be remembered as when he finishes up, hangs up his gloves?
A good goalkeeper. I mean, the guy who changed Indian football for good. Like, brought that change. I mean, something fresh. The tall, lanky fellow.
The tall, lanky fellow who took that train from Chandigarh to Jamshedpur and then
Mud Island.
आ गया वापस. Just that I was saying thank you to you. He doesn't want me to go.
Acha. I have one more question for you.
Yeah, please. You have to give a message to fans also, the West Block Blues and to Indian football fans.
That I will. No problem.
Okay.
Is this the best live or not?
By far. This has been the longest, but because of your frame, it also deserved to be the biggest and easily the most fun.
झूठ नहीं बोलना.
And I will.
सच बोलो.
मुझसे आप स्टीवन कॉन्स्टेंटाइन ईगोर टी मैच पूछोगे, मैं आपको बता दूंगा सही आंसर. I will not say Carlos Cuadrat. All right, Gurpreet, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much. I'll let you get back to helping out the one who matters in Sydney. And all the best with all the pre-season training with Eric. And we wish you good health. And we wish to see you back in India very soon, doing what you do best, keeping clean sheets and helping India win.
Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you soon with the new season.
Cheers, champ. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Just missed him dabbing over there just for a second, but that's who Gurpreet Singh Sandhu is. He keeps it light, he keeps it fun, and he certainly doesn't remember things for very long, because he said the best thing to do for a goalkeeper, as he was told at a very young age, is to keep a short memory. That was long, but that was some serious fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You'll get to watch it on the ISL Instagram handle as well as the YouTube page. So I can't wait to see some of the snippets from this. Any more requests, any more questions, guys? Keep firing away. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for staying on for this long on Let's Football Live. It's never been done before like that, but it's also nice and early on a Monday morning. Wish you guys well. All the very best for the rest of the week. Stay safe, and we'll see you very shortly on another episode. Until then, it's goodbye.